You want to hear about the scariest thing that happened to me this Halloween? And no, it wasn't a jump scare from a haunted house or some kid in a really convincing zombie costume. This was next level. It was the kind of scary that makes you question reality itself. And it all started with a ridiculous amount of candy. So picture this, it's the day after Halloween. My car's passenger seat looks like a piñata exploded. We're talking mounds of chocolate bars, sour gummies, jawbreakers, lollipops, you name it, I had it. I'd just come from a trunk or treat event, and let's just say I went a little overboard. My sweet tooth was calling the shots, and I was just along for the ride. I'm driving home, the sugar rush is hitting hard. My head's buzzing, my fingers are sticky, and I'm unwrapping a cherry lollipop with one hand, steering with the other. The road ahead starts to get wavy. The streetlights blur into long neon streaks like something out of a sci-fi movie. I blinked hard, thinking, okay, maybe that was one too many Sour Patch Kids. But it wasn't just my vision. The world outside my windshield started to shimmer and distort, and then, bam, straight ahead the air itself seemed to tear open. It wasn't a crash in the normal sense. I didn't hit another car or a tree. I drove straight into this swirling, shimmering vortex, a portal. It was like driving through liquid light. My car stereo glitched out, playing a terrifying mix of static and distorted carnival music. The last thing I remember is the smell of burnt sugar and ozone, and then blackness. When I came to, the first thing I noticed was the smell. It was sickly sweet, like rotting fruit and chemicals. The second thing was the color. I was lying in a shallow, bloody pool of something. It wasn't water. It was this thick, toxic plasma, glowing with an evil red and green light bubbling like a witch's cauldron. And I wasn't alone. All around me, silhouetted against the toxic glow, were these figures, demons. I don't know what else to call them. They had jagged horns, leathery wings, and eyes that burned like embers in the dark. My heart hammered against my ribs, convinced this was it. This was the end. I'd literally driven myself to hell, but then I saw the oddest thing. The thing that made no sense at all. They weren't looking at me. They were hunched over, completely engrossed in something on the ground. And as my eyes adjusted, I realized what it was. They were eating my candy. My candy. One demon with long, spindly fingers was meticulously peeling the wrapper off a peanut butter cup. Another was crunching on a handful of candy corn like it was the finest delicacy. They were completely mesmerized by my Halloween haul, which had apparently spilled out of the car with me. Seeing my chance, I started to crawl away. My only thought was, don't distract them from the Snickers bars. I moved as silently as I could, inch by inch, the warm, disgusting plasma squelching under my hands. The demons just kept munching away, totally oblivious. I thought I was going to make it. I really did. But this dimension, or whatever it was, wasn't done with me. Suddenly, the ground beneath me just vanished. I was falling, plummeting 1,000 feet through this acrid, sulfur-smelling air. I screamed, a raw, terrified sound that was swallowed by the void. I landed with a searing splash into a massive pool of what I can only describe as pure acid. The pain was instantaneous and absolute. It was a white-hot agony that consumed every nerve in my body. I watched in sheer horror as my skin and muscles dissolved right off, my own bones appearing beneath, stark white against the bubbling liquid. I was just a skeleton, held together by sheer terror. Just as I thought I was about to dissolve completely, a figure appeared at the edge of the acid pool. It was a bright yellow dwarf, with a wicked grin and eyes that sparkled with malice. He was holding a shiny chrome chain, and he slashed it through the air towards me. On pure instinct, my bony hand shot up and I caught it. The moment my fingers closed around the metal, a massive bolt of lightning surged through me. It was like being struck by the sun. The shock was so intense, so violent, that my entire consciousness just shattered. And then I woke up. I was on my feet, standing in the middle of a Halloween costume shop. The air smelled of latex and cheap perfume. Fluorescent lights hummed overhead. My heart was still pounding, but my skin was intact. My bones were safely hidden inside my body. There was no acid, no demons, no portal. My eyes darted around, trying to make sense of it all, and then I saw it, hanging on a mannequin right in front of me. It was the coolest outfit I had ever seen. A demon costume with jagged horns and leathery wings. Next to it, a bright yellow dwarf costume complete with a shiny chrome chain. It was all there. Every last terrifying detail of my nightmare, for sale as a Halloween costume. Was it all just a sugar-fueled hallucination? A crazy dream brought on by a candy coma? Or did I actually drive through a portal and come back with the best costume idea of all time? Honestly, I don't know, but I bought the costume, and I haven't eaten a piece of candy since.